Hey, welcome. It is another Hot Topic Tuesday, May 7. I got to tell you, this is one where Bob and Jason and I were talking yesterday, and it was like, hey, can we? What should we? How do we? So, as you can tell, today's all about the video. And you guys, I think the key is that we probably overcomplicate it. So, maybe Jason, Bob, let's start this way. Why should we do video?
Video's king, period. I mean, it's no bigger than that, folks. When you're going through your own social media accounts, Facebook, whatever, what do you get hung up on? Reels, video. I mean, come on. In other words, you should market the way that you actually operate, then it becomes familiar, right?
I think it's a terrific answer. And yeah, I'm one of those. I'm guilty. My wife knows. I probably watch a lot of reels during the day, during the evening. Those quick little clips happen to catch your attention. Anything you'd add to that, Jay?
No, I mean that wraps it up. If you think about TV ads, they don't just show you still pictures for a reason.
So something pops up in anything. What catches your attention the most? It's video. So, that simplicity, I think, is there a place that we should look? I mean, if we go to the very basic, let's start with the end in mind. Where should we look to be able to place these?
Well, y'all have a YouTube channel. I know you do. And since you got a YouTube channel, that means you can put it also on your website. Oh my goodness. I'm not even talking about your social media just yet. Because if you build a library, because you're sharing your wisdom, which is one of those things you learned in pre-license, what do you bring to the party? Why should someone work with you? It's your wisdom. And so when you share that on your website and you share that on YouTube and your social platforms, oh man, you look so good.
So, a YouTube channel, that really is, if I'm right, and Jay, you can throw in here for this, but isn't that really the base? Because that's where we would put everything. And of course, I know we can post from there, we can create from there. But is that the spot, or do we go directly, say, live Facebook, or do we post directly as a reel? What's the thoughts on that, Jay?
So I'm going to say all the above. Not everybody's going to want to do the YouTube thing. Understand that. YouTube, the way I think of YouTube at least, is long form content. So longer stuff that people are going to watch. For me, YouTube is my TV. I don't watch TV except for sports. Okay. So I'm not really watching I was going to say MacGyver, which shows you how long it's been since I watched TV. I know there's a new one, but it's not the same. So, I'm watching YouTube, I'm scrolling through videos. That's what I do. That's that longer form content. Everything else, you can take shorter form content. What I mean by that is posts. You can make posts out of your YouTube stuff that's shorter, that's clips. Like if you post a YouTube video that's the 5 things you need to do in order to list your house, each one of those 5 things can be a post on your social media. Okay. So you can use it for both. But if you're not a YouTube person, that's fine. Think of your content creation in the same way, though. Think of it as in you can post multiple things. You can post a 10-step thing, whatever that thing is, and just spread it out over 10 posts, even if you don't have a YouTube, even if you're not pushing the YouTube side of it, if that makes sense, hopefully.
Can
I
I
got
ask
it.
what the number 2 search engine is?
I was going to ask you, Bob.
I'll say it, Bob, make me look smart. So the number 2 search engine in the world, if you don't know, the number 1 is Google. Everybody know that? Okay. Number 2 is YouTube. Anybody want to take a guess on who owns YouTube? That's right. I see everyone nodding in unison all at the same time. Yes, you're all right. Google owns YouTube. So that means that when someone searches on Google, first of all, and they search for whatever they're going to be searching for, what to do when you list your house. Okay, steps to take when you're listing a house. Google is going to automatically put videos up front because it's coming from its secondary source. It's going straight to YouTube. So that's where they are. Notice that those are all YouTube videos usually and not some other random website.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Anything to add to that, Bob?
Nope, in a nutshell.
So let's do this. And it's great because Stephanie, hopefully you're still there. Because we're going to talk about you and everybody else regarding what they think about themselves doing videos, what they look like, what they sound like. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, you know, again, I'm a bloopers fan, so I don't believe in being perfect. If you've ever seen me do any training, you'll know that I'll make a gaffe just to create attention. Why? Because there's humor in it. For whatever reason, I mean, come on, there used to be a TV show about, what was it? Family, I don't know, Family's Funniest
America's
Videos.
funniest
America's
videos.
Funniest
Yeah,
Home
and
Videos.
people were getting hurt. I mean, people were making huge mistakes, but yet everybody was watching it. It was like, and you cringe. So get a reaction, engage your audience. It's not all about standing up and showing everything that you have, but show a little bit of your personality.
Yeah, for me, I cannot stand being in front of the camera. This is the best I can do. I can stand in front of an audience, a crowd of this many people, doesn't bother me at all. Once there's a camera involved, it's terrible. And then if I have to record it and watch it back, it's twice as torturous. Okay. Nobody likes the way they look usually on video. People definitely don't like the way they sound on video. When I watch it back, I sound like a 13-year-old to me. My voice to me sounds very deep and very, very tough and very cool. But when I listen to it back, it just doesn't sound like that. So the thing that I just want to add is if you want to see some examples, go look at the biggest YouTubers, whoever you know, and look at their first videos. And you'll see that they look terrible. But they have to start
Absolutely.
somewhere. They can't be
Absolutely.
perfect right off jump. They cannot be perfect.
Well, that aspect of, well, that doesn't sound like me. Oh no, that's you guys. That is the way that you sound. When you hear that recording, yes, that's the way you sound. And oh, by the way, you can't change that. So we just have to accept, holy cow, that's what everybody else is hearing. My voice sounds like that. And Stephanie, can I bring you in, because you're always my testimony for where everybody wants to start or where they have to start and where you are now. Can you add?
So I very much agree with Jay. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I sound. I don't like anything, but that's what I look like and that's what I sound like. I was not going to do any videos ever. And
Or photos?
or I did not like. But here I am doing them. I need to do more. But when people meet me, they're going to see me. They're going to see what I look like and what I sound like. So, and I am me. I can't change that. And being your authentic self is what brings people to you.
Yeah.
So we need to be authentic, right? We need to be ourselves. So I am who I am. And now I'm okay with it. But I wasn't at the beginning. It took me a minute to get there, or years.
Has it made a difference in your business?
Yes. Yes. And I've been recognized one time, only one time, but I got recognized one time and I'm like, this is pretty cool. So it's kind of a fun thing, but yes. And people notice and people comment. So, and it makes me look like I know if I put myself out there, I look like I'm a professional in the business. Like I look like I am a legit realtor who people want to come to with questions. So
Stephanie,
I'm
let
fine
me
with it
ask
now.
you one additional question. What would you tell people about this part of the subject of doing video?
Just do it. Just do it. And it's okay to be afraid. I still take a lot of takes to get something that I'm semi comfortable with. But what I have found is I just do it and I put it out there, and I don't necessarily go back and watch it because I don't like how I look and how I sound, but that is me. But just do it. Start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Just start somewhere. And you only get better as you go.
I love it. I love it. Stephanie, thank you. She was not prepared for that, but she's there, so I had to use her. Okay. So guys, um, where do we start? So it's like, okay, I take Stephanie's thing and it's like, where do I go? What do I need to be able to make this happen? Do I need anything? Do I got to spend money? Where's the simple place to start with doing video?
So go to Amazon and buy the most expensive camera you can find. Not. I'm gonna defer to Jay on this because when we were talking, I really liked the way he put it.
Well, hopefully I can remember the way I put it. Yeah, the best thing to do is just start. Okay. Stephanie said the right thing. She said you just got to start. And I also love the note, and I definitely do the same thing too. Once I'm confident in what I have, at least it's the best that it's gonna get, I don't watch it again. Like I don't look at my posts because I'll just judge everything that I've done for the rest of the day. So instead of doing that, I just move on, and you'll be surprised that people are like, "Oh, I love that video." And you're like, "Okay, sure, sure. I'm glad you liked it. It was terrible." Right? That's how we think. That's how we all think though. So the best thing that I can say to you is you have to start. So if you're sitting there and you're like, "Okay, well, where do I start?" I'm going to tell you this, and this is what I've told the few agents that I've worked with in the 10 minutes that I've been here doing this job, is that give yourself 15 minutes a day. You're all busy, okay? But everybody's got 15 minutes. I know I waste at least 15 minutes a day doing nothing, okay? So give yourself 15 minutes in the morning and set out to say, make a post for the day, all right? They don't always have to be video, but people are going to watch video more than they're going to watch anything else. So give yourself that 15 minutes to come up with an idea. Now, how do we come up with ideas? Anybody have any ideas on how you would come up with ideas?
If you know Bob DeVore, you do.
Yeah. Bob's just over there itching to say it. Chat GPT or another one of those AI systems, okay? Have any of you heard of those things? Yes, you can just nod. I got right. Heard of them, heard Bob yelling about them, things like that. So if you have not used them yet, they are your best bet to get you started. Okay. When I started, if you don't know, I was in marketing for 2 months. And for some of you who are on the marketing program, I was writing social media posts for you. I'm not an agent. So where do you think I got the ideas to make social media posts as a real estate agent for you? That none of you were like, "Hey, this is crazy. You can't say that." Right? If I would have had to make that up myself, you all would have been calling me every day, asking me where I got these crazy ideas. The way I did it was with Chat GPT. Okay. Chat is a very smart, the other ones are fine. I use Chat. But as you use chat more and more, it begins to learn kind of your tone and the way you like to do things and the way I like to do things with chat. And I don't know, do we have time to share screen real quick? And
Hey, go for it.
okay. So what I'm gonna do.
I think a lot of people have seen it, but just a quick demonstration as to how quick it can pull something together. Or because really, Jay, we're even talking just ideas.
Correct. Yep. And that is what I want to show.
So
So
while you're getting that, I mean, just think of it this way, because so many of us are just struggling with what can I talk? What could I even create a video around? this is one of those simple things that you can do.
Yep, exactly. So very quick, and we don't want to make it great. Let me move some stuff here so I can actually get to it. All right, so Chat GPT, and I just kind of created some general things for myself here. Oops, wrong one. So you don't have to watch me try and type. Everybody can see my screen, I hope.
It's there.
So the first thing I did was I gave chat a list of commands, or what they call a prompt. And I said, act as a real estate subject matter expert in Michigan. Help me create a social media calendar. Please create a social media calendar, including the exact posts for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And then I said, ask me any questions before you respond. I usually say please, just in case there's any Terminator fans out there. I want to be on the good side of AI when it does eventually try and take us over. So, but that's just for me, not necessarily for you guys. So notice that it responded and it said, of course, and then it asked me these questions. Okay, how frequently do you want? Now, normally I would go through and I would just number my answers, but I'm just going to give it a generic little paragraph that I have here. And it says, okay, thanks. And then it proceeds to kick out my calendar. And we can stop it there just so we can take a look at it. All right, so week 1, Facebook and LinkedIn. Here's your post. Thinking of selling your home in Macomb? Let's discuss. All right. Now that's just a general thing that we can add to, we can do a lot with. I'm going to actually give it one more prompt, because now I'm having a conversation with chat right now. So I'm going to say, please create 3 posts and include visual ideas for the posts. It's thinking. And I'll stop it there. So notice the first one, same thing, considering selling your home in Macomb County. Let's connect. Gives you some hashtags. You can add your own hashtags in there. You can put it in the paragraph that I put in. And then it says visual idea, a professional photo of you holding a sold sign. So if you're like, I don't know what to do. Now, we're talking about video. So what can I possibly do? I can take these and use these as a script, or rewrite that to say, write me social media posts as a script. And then you can film your script. And then there you have it. There you have your posts. The content ideas, to me, are the hardest things that I deal with. I don't know. What do you think, Bob?
Actually, I like everything you just said, because the video is absolutely, again, you will get more views, more impressions, more reaches. But I like the fact that you also made the indication that, well, you can also have it as a social media post itself. So you got the social media post with an image and you have a video. The only component I see missing is the blog. And again, Chat GPT can do all 3. It can write you the script. Well, first off, it can give you the idea. It can write the script. It can write the social media post, and it can also write the blog. It's too easy. When you look at many different opportunities out there, because we all get emails, everybody's always trying to sell us something, and it's like, do this, buy this, and this is what will happen. You have a free tool at your resource to be able to become the social media guru. And the one reason why I tried a lot of different AI writers, but only ChatGPT showed a learning curve where it got smarter, because I am not the brightest pencil in the drawer. Okay. But with that said, I want to make sure we got time for equipment. Okay. Because I think that's where Darwin's thinking.
Yeah, because that was, I mean, where do we start? And I know if anybody's paying attention to the chat, what's the simplest place for us to start with actual equipment? There it is, the cell phone, guys.
Everybody's
And-
holding their phones up.
Yeah, and Jay, you mentioned I think it's important. Which camera do I use?
Yeah, so this is from my video side. So we all like to turn our front camera on and because we can see ourselves, which makes it 10 times harder for us to record, just so you know. But the rear camera is the better camera. Okay. On almost all phones, the rear camera is the better camera. So it takes a little getting used to. You got to kind of figure out how to set it up because you can't see if you're quite in it or not. So set it up in a way that will get you in it and then walk in front of it and just start recording. Okay. For my iPhone users, we want to try and do it in one take. We don't want to try and make it to where we have to do Hollywood movie editing afterwards. Okay. But when you record with your phone, you can edit out the beginning and the end strictly right, at least for Apple devices. You can do it right on your phone, right in your photos. You go to it, there's a little edit button, and you can just cut out the little space of you walking around the camera. It's very simple to do. I'm sure you can do the same in Androids.
Yes. Yep. Matter of fact, if you got a OneDrive, I can do things on my phone, although it's kind of hard to see it that way. But it goes right into a gallery in my OneDrive where I can now, if I want to, use whatever video editing software that is there. And Bob, you alluded to the aspect to go out and buy the most expensive camera. Do we need it?
No, and please don't. Don't buy special lighting. Don't buy tripods and everything else. Keep it as simple as you can possibly make it. I hate to, and I see people make that mistake. They think, well, you know, I gotta have it the perfection. No, you don't. You just need to take and get the message out there. That's what you gotta do. So don't invest a lot of, I like the fact that Jason mentioned 15 minutes in the morning. There's one of the reasons why I'm the first one in the office. Why? Because I like the quiet time and that's my video capture time. Because I'm not gonna have any interruptions. So I absolutely keep it as simple as you can. I don't, about the only phone that probably won't work is a flip phone. So, you know, Gibbs can't get it done, but everybody else, we got smartphones, and the reason we call them smartphones is because they hold more information than we do.
So I'm going to do this just so that you can see. I'm going to go, if it'll stop. Where's my none? None. Just start, number one. There's lots of equipment that you can do later on. But above all else, work on your mindset first. What you see here is a microphone that I bought years ago. It's called the Blue Snowball. It was about $70, and you get an idea as to, you know, if I'm back here, if I want to catch the real voice qualities, I can speak directly into it. You know, you don't need anything specific. This is great for when you want to hit. You can see when Alex does a lot of his blogs, Alex has got, he invested in some high quality, which is about, I think, you know, microphones were $600 if I remember right, Bob.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of money toward that. Another simple microphone, and I think Stephanie, you alluded to it, but it's as simple as something like this that plugs into the bottom of your phone. And you've seen me and actually heard me using this on a number of these calls. That's the microphone for it. They even have it to where it has, and this is what I have, it's two. I think those are about, I think it's about $100 right now for one that has two. Now, why step to that should you choose to? Well, that would be because you might want to do some distant recording. This thing goes up to like 200, 300 feet away from the camera resource. I'll even throw out, and guys, look, my wife knows I have toys. So if you've ever heard of a gimbal, this is what's neat about it. And as you can see, the camera will stay unless if I go way too far away. But it does all the things of keeping that steady. But that's the part where, Bob, you were saying, we're not worried about being professionals in the beginning. just start. And Jason, that's where you were saying, pick up your phone and use that. As you get better, as the income is there and you got a little bit of money to play with, then you can go buy the other toys to go with it.
Yeah, they won't make you, those things won't make you any better. And I say that as a person who 100% buys those things. Okay. I buy the $1,300 grill because I watch a ton of videos on it. And then I'm like, you know what? I have to have this smoker. This is what everybody is doing. And then I get it and I'm like, but I don't know how to cook anything on it. And so the food doesn't really taste any better, or it takes me twice as long. It's the same way with cameras. I've owned $5,000 cameras. I've owned $50 cameras. And if you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't make sense to have that. You can step up to it. They're great. But what we have now in our hands, what we all carry with us every single day, is super high quality, and you can get great videos on.
Yeah, hey, and here's another one, because if you guys do look for any of Stephanie's stuff, and I see Marjorie is using these also, but teleprompters. Any idea on that, guys? And I'll turn Stephanie, because I know you and I had a conversation on this, but guys, I'll let you go first with that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bob. You got something?
There's several different ways. That the one that I liked the absolute best, which was inexpensive, was BU View. It's capital B, capital U, View. And what I liked about it was you could script anything, and it would put it on the teleprompter, which is basically on your phone or on your iPad or whatever. And so with the idea of what Jason's talking about, where we're using the back camera, and my eyes are bad, I put my teleprompter on the iPad, which is what my phone's leaning against, right? And so that I can read it, because I can control the speed, the tempo, and it also allows you to include images as a part of your thing. So yeah, BU View was my favorite.
BU, so is it BUVU?
BUVIEW.
Okay. And the reason I ask, and Stephanie, you can share with us what Big View is that you use.
Yeah, Big View, there's a monthly fee that you pay. I think it's probably $8 a month right now. I think I got in when it was $5.99 or something. But you too can upload any script that you want. You could add images, you can add captions, you can add backgrounds. I just have short-term memory loss from the lovely brain tumor thing I had. So I forget what I'm going to say. So I need the help. So I use the teleprompter app. There are free teleprompter apps out there. I just wasn't a huge fan. This one works really well for me and my situation. And I'm
Yeah,
a firm believer.
Yeah, the reason I brought Stephanie into it, one, she shared, but two, I watched one of her videos. And again, I always laugh when I see hers, because she's so good and she still doesn't understand how good she is. But I said, either you really studied and memorized a script, or you're using a teleprompter. And she was using a teleprompter. And by the way, the only reason I knew that is because I know Stephanie, and just very professional. It was her sounding like her, and that's how skilled and practiced she's become. And Marjorie, I see you're there too. If you want to jump in and share with us about what it sounds like, it's actually called teleprompter. Is that right?
Yes, it's an app, and you just download it, and I use it all the time. I really like it because you can do all the things that everybody else talked about too, using that. And it helps me because I'm like Stephanie, I sometimes forget what I want to say, and it just helps to remind you, and just keeps it flowing, and so I really like to use the app. Any app that you can find like that, if it's not too expensive, I'd say use it, because it will
Fantastic.
definitely make.
And
Fantastic.
I have
All
to
right.
interject, when Stephanie stated the name, that's what BU View became.
Ah, okay.
Because I'm going back. And yeah, that's what it became. They rebranded, it got bought out by somebody.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, gang, it's 12:31 already, so I'm just gonna say, Jason, I'll go you first. Any final thoughts for everybody?
Just start. Just start. If you need help, email me or call me.
And Jason has been getting it out there with his schedule out now so that you can schedule one-on-one appointments with him. So that is there. And Bob DeVore, any final thoughts?
As my good friend Yoda would say, there is no try. It is either do or do not. So do it.
Schedule it and do it. You know, I think that's really the key parts because we have already in our hands what we need to be able to do it. So it is schedule it, give yourself 15 minutes, as Jay said, and do it. And guys, know next week we're going to have our deep dive. Alex has got a couple of our top producers and some of the best at taking listings, and he's going to be with us next week on the deep dive. So make sure you join us at noon for that one. And then I'm just gonna, if everybody would, Bob's in his final days before what his retirement states is kind of like mine whenever mine happens, but he hits the road, going to take a month-long trip and then go into a more part-time I don't know, consultant basis. We're going to figure it all out. But everybody, if you would, give Bob the well wishes as he flies into his part-time retirement.
Thanks, folks.
Yeah. So I'm going to miss the old fart. So, but we'll see him around and he's going to be at our disposal. So everybody have a great one and we'll see you next week. Oh, by the way, don't forget if you're anywhere near Fenton, we've got the Buyer Boot Camp. That's tomorrow. Thursday, we're down in Livonia. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, just get a hold of the administrator at those two offices, whichever one you want to hit to. Let them know that you're going to be there. It is a free course, 10 to 4. See y'all. Bye.
Hey, thanks. Bye, Bob.
Bye-bye.